Welcome to BTTV. This week we'll be chatting about how the cast of Glee will be honouring Whitney Houston. Also, BTTV's Sarah Jane will be chatting to one of Ireland's hottest vintage clothing experts, and we visit London-based fashion photographer Micheal Leckie to find out what he's been up to recently. Whitney Houston will apparently join the likes of Michael Jackson and Madonna by having an entire episode of hit TV show Glee dedicated to her music. The singer's biggest hits will be covered by the show's cast, who have already begun filming, according to E! Online. A source told the website it's using Whitney's music as a way to say goodbye and respectfully say thank you to her for the music. Glee star Lea Michele took to her Twitter account during the week to tease plans for the show. She wrote, "Starting a new episode today, a very special tribute to one of the world's most amazing singers. Very excited about this one." Meanwhile, The Wanted were also featured in an episode of Glee recently after their track Glad You Came made it into the top 5 on the US Billboard charts. One thing that we at Beauty Team firmly agree on is that fashion is just one big wheel. If it was stylish once, it will be stylish again, and it's safe to say that vintage is one of the biggest buzzwords in fashion at the moment. We wanted to find out its exact meaning though, so BTTV's Sarah Jane went to meet vintage expert Agnes from VintageTrig.com to find out what the word really does mean.
Hi, my name is Sarah Jane Hanton and I adore vintage clothing. And vintage seems to be very on trend at the moment, but what exactly is vintage? With so many high street stores bringing out vintage inspired pieces, I'm just slightly confused. So I'm joined today by the lovely Agnes Stensin of VintageTrig.com and boutiques. And hopefully, Agnes, you can shed the spotlight and kind of enlighten me as to what exactly vintage is.
Hi Sarah Jane. So what vintage is? Term vintage mainly refers to any garments produced during 1920s up to very early 1980s. Anything produced before 1920s, it's called antique. They're very rare pieces that you can actually see it at the museums at this stage. They're not really available in the shops around.
So old.
They are so old, you know. But anything past 80s, it's second hand. So if you have a dress from last season, 2 seasons, it's not vintage yet, it's second hand. To a garment become a vintage, you need at least 25 years. So anything less than quarter of a century, it's not vintage.
Okay, that sheds a little bit of light.
Yeah, so, and I brought you a few examples for you to see today.
Brilliant, Agnes.
To see more of Sarah Jane's interview with Agnes from VintageTrig.com, you can check it out in full on the Beauty Team Ireland YouTube channel, Beauty Team TV. Beauty Team Ireland recently went to London to visit top photographer Micheal Leckie, who has worked with some of the biggest names in music and fashion. We met him on location at a shoot in Camden, and he told us all about what he's up to at the moment. You're watching Beauty Team TV, and we're a little bit out of our comfort zone today. We're in London and checking in with Micheal Leckie, celeb photographer based in London, here in Camden Town as well. And you might be able to kind of see from the setting today, it's very much kind of Camden-esque, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's just off the outskirts of Camden, and it's a nice little place to be, you know.
Tell us a bit about you. Tell us about what you do, about I guess everything that you're up to over here in London.
Well, I've been here for now going on 10 years, and I've started shooting photography. Basically, just got into bands and things like that. So I wasn't good enough for guitar, so I started picked up the camera to try and get some sort of rock and roll sort of things. And then over the years, just kind of developed a sort of technique and a sort of style which is my own. And now I shoot for the Sunday Times and Warner Music and EA Games. A range of people, really, different clients.
Tell me about some of the stuff you're doing recently then.
And this week I've got a lovely photo shoot which I'm down here in Camden. She's come all the way over. I think you guys know well.
That's fabulous. Okay, you mentioned EA Games a couple of minutes ago. Like what exactly, this is just the first thing that came to mind, what exactly do you do for EA Games? I mean, what is it that you've
EA
photographed
Games,
of them?
look to get a lot of celebrity endorsement for their games.
Oh, okay.
So I end up shooting those promo shots with the celebrities for publicity, things like that.
Brilliant.
Something similar is what I do with Channel 4 as well as another of my clients. I shoot a lot of their publicity shots for their channels. So it's basically, for example, they had Pixie Lott endorsing Sims 3.
Oh yeah,
recently.
I've seen that, yeah.
So I took that shot and then things like that. But basically it's all geared on a brief, whatever suits.
And what's your favourite sort of thing to shoot?
I love shooting editorials, interesting people. Ideally, I think Sir Ian McKellen would be fantastic to shoot, just because he's such a character, someone like that. And generally, I just love taking them into a context where we can be very relaxed at the same time, get a lovely shoot and work different scenarios.
Yeah. And what's next for you then, for Micheal Leckie?
Micheal Leckie's got a couple of nice advertising jobs coming up, so I'm moving into advertising and shooting nice big budgets like that. Yeah, it's a bit of a step out of the comfort zone in terms of working with cats.
Okay. Next week we go to the Academy to meet Key West as they launch their debut album. In the meantime, keep in touch with us on our Facebook page, Beauty Team Ireland, or follow us on Twitter at Beauty Team IE. See you next week.